What's going on, people? It is your boy, Mr. Noland here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a reteach over finding the part, whole, and percent. And guys, this reteach is actually going over the test you just took. Now, in the last video, all I did was double number lines. That's what the district wanted. But I also taught the students multiple ways in class how to solve the problem, so they didn't always have to use the double number line. So let's look at this first one. A factory produces toy cars at a rate of 400 toy cars per hour. If 12 cars are defective each hour, what percent of the toys are defective? So you can start with the double number line, just like so. The top is my percents, the bottom is your numbers. We know for a fact that 100% is 400 cars. We need to know what percent is 12 cars. Well, on an example like this, we were able to figure out what 10% was on the number line and so forth. But what I taught the kids first is, can you find a scale factor? Now, a scale factor means can you multiply or divide to get from one number to the next? For example, is there a scale factor to go from 100 to 400? Or, how many $100 bills does it take to give you $400? Well, it's 4. Well, guys, look at your arrow. Your arrow is going to go in the opposite direction. Do you see how the arrows are going in opposite directions? You do the opposite operation. So instead of multiply by 4, divide by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Your answer should be 3%. Again, guys, if there's ever a scale factor, use the scale factor. Look how easy that was. All right, second one. In a park, 40% of the trees change color in the fall. There are 500 trees in the park. How many trees in the park change color in the fall? So once again, start with your double number line, and we're going to go ahead and label the given information. We know that 100% represents 500 trees. There are 500 trees in the park. That's what it says. We need to know how many trees make up 40%. So that's what we're solving for. Again, look for scale factor. Can you go from 40 to 100 evenly? Evenly, no, but some of y'all can say, well, the scale factor is 2.5. If you want to do that, go ahead. But we try and teach no decimals because students struggle with multiplying and dividing decimals. How many $100 bills to give you $500? Well, that's times 5. Now look at your arrow. You see how the arrows are going the same direction? Do the same operation. What is 40 times 5? Well, 40 times 5 is 200. There is your answer. Guys, look how nice and easy the scale factor is. Woo! Alright. Now this was a tough question for the students. Guys, you had 2 blanks, which means you had 2 answers. You had to do this problem. 1 and 2 were not the actual answers. These were your answer choices. It says Kara owns 35 books. Of these books, 20% have fewer than 100 pages and 80% have more than 100 pages. Complete the statement. Okay, so let's make a double number line. We know that 100% represents 35 books. I know that because it says Kara owns 35 books. That's your total. She owns 35 books. 20% have less than 100 pages, and 80% have more than 100 pages. Well, guys, I'm actually going to use the double number line on this one. In my last video, I mentioned to the students that you cannot start a race at the end. You have to start at the beginning. Well, here's my pattern. I'm going to count by 20s until I get to 100. Well, guys, how many $20 bills did it take to get to $100? 5. Very good. It is 5. Well, guess what? So to go from 20 to 100, you multiplied by 5. Look at your arrow. It's going in the opposite direction, so do the opposite operation. 35 divided by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Oh, how many fingers? 7. Well, guys, look, there's my pattern. I'm going to count by 7s. Well, the first question says 20%. 20% is 7. That's your first answer. The second question says 80%. 80% is 28. That's your second answer. Now, guys, when y'all are doing this, if you add 7 plus 28, guess what that gives you? 7 plus 28 is 35. That's how many total books you have. I'm saying that because some of y'all chose the answer of 20 and 80. Guys, that adds up to 100 total books. She only has 35. Hopefully that helps y'all out a little bit. Let's move on. Number 4. As part of a survey, 300 girls were asked to name their favorite sport. The results showed that 12 of the girls named bowling as their favorite sport. What percent of the girls in the survey named bowling as their favorite sport? Now, I'll be honest, I love bowling. I'm about as good as the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, man, that's awful. I'm happy if I can get to 100. All right, here we are. So it says there are 300 girls. So 100% represents 300 girls. We want to know what percent is 12. Again, guys, first thing, look for a scale factor. Can 12 go into 100 evenly without a decimal? The answer is no. Now, some of you are like, well, you can multiply by 8.5. Again, yes, you could, but again, we're trying to avoid decimals. However, how many $100 bills to give you $300? Anyone? Anyone? Well, that would be times 3. Oh my gosh, can anyone see the boo-boo that I made yet? Well, the boo-boo is I put the 12 in the wrong spot. It's asking what percent. So I'm actually solving for the percent. And the 12 comes down here with my numbers. That's my bad. I should slow down and read more carefully. I'm solving for the percent. Here's my percents. Okay, now look at your arrow. Your arrow is going in the opposite direction. See that? Opposite direction, opposite operation. 12 divided by 3 is 4. You get 4%. All right, sorry about that boo-boo there, guys. Hopefully y'all caught it. Next one. Now this was a fun one because it's not multiple choice. A shop owner offered a 20% discount off the regular price of a mirror. The amount of the discount is $3. What is the regular price? Well, let's go ahead and do my double number line. Hopefully no boo-boos on this one. Hey, hey, boo-boo, it's me, Yogi. I think the parents would get that one. All right, we know for a fact that 20% is a $3 discount. Well, guys, this time we're trying to get to 100%, and we have no clue what it is. The good news is, here's the starting line for the race, and we're trying to get to the finish line, right? Two ways you can do it. Guys, can't you count by 20s until you get to 100? Or what are you counting by here? You're counting by threes. Oh, snap, there it is, $15. That's your answer, $15. The other way you could have done it is, if this was gone, look for a scale factor. 3 cannot go into 20 evenly. But guess what? 20 can go into 100. How many times? Well, it takes 5 $20 bills to give you $100. Look at your arrows. They're going the same way. 3 times 5 is also 15. Look at that. Same problem, solved 2 different ways. Holler. All right, we got one more to do. Again, another tough problem because it is not multiple choice. Dennis made an extra $140 for selling furniture. The extra $140 was 5% of the total. What was the total? We're solving for the total. Dun dun dun. So here we go. Let's go with what we know. We know 5% is $140. What we're solving for, oh, what am I doing here? Change that to numbers. What we are solving for is 100%. Okay, again, there's 2 ways you could do it. You can count by fives, because here's my pattern. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. And then you can count by 140, 140, 140, all the way until you get to the 100%. Or you can look for a scale factor. Can 5 go into 140 evenly? Yes, it can. It would be 18 times, which some kids struggle with that. But most kids are pretty good with how many $5 bills to give you $100? Well, that's 20. So what's 140 times 20? Well, let's see here. 0 times 0, 0 times 4, 0 times 1. Second row add a 0. 2 times 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. Add straight down. Ooh, look at this guy. $2,800. That's what we were looking for. The total value was $2,800. All right, guys, I hope this video does help you out. Have a wonderful day and weekend. Hook 'em horns. And let's go Cowboys. Y'all can beat the Giants. Y'all have a great weekend.